Hello, my lovely wolf pack, and welcome back to the Lone Wolf Show, brought to you by Wolfpack Media, the most entertaining place on YouTube for your news and commentary. I'm your host, Justin Huseman, founder and news contributor. We have a great show today, and I cannot wait to get started. But before we do, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show with all your friends and everyone you know, and join the pack today. All right, I want to do a quick shout out here. Very special shout out for one of our ex followers, American Patriot at JW9378. Make sure you go follow him on X. And also just thank you very much, American Patriot. We really appreciate the shout out. Our X has been blowing up today. Actually, I just got a new follow as we're speaking, so we really appreciate that. We really appreciate the support, and thank you also to all of our new followers on X. We love you guys. We appreciate all the support. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to the news. Well, my friends, it was a pretty wild weekend, to say the least, as President Trump began military operations in Iran, dubbing it Operation Epic Fury. And though it seems that the U.S. is winning this skirmish against the Iranian regime, even eliminating its leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, we are still left to wonder what kind of ramifications this war might have, not just for military personnel abroad, but also for us here at home. During the Biden administration, millions of people were allowed to flood our country with absolutely no vetting process. And it's well known at this point that this irresponsible policy on our borders led to many of America's enemies taking advantage of this move from the former president. Khamenei himself is on the record talking about sleeper cells all over the world ready to strike. Well, guys, over this weekend in Austin, Texas, we experienced a horrible tragedy that very well could be the consequence of all this, a consequence of this war, a consequence of Biden leaving our borders wide open for enemy combatants to just walk right through. And honestly, you guys, this is what I've been scared of for a long time when it came to this kind of Islamic regime and Muslim terrorists coming in. I mean, this is how we got 9/11, guys, and I'm worried about something on that scale. But this also, though it was on a smaller scale, but this was also a huge tragedy. Anytime something like this, it obviously is. And I do want to give a quick shout out to our co-host, Benai Huseman. He did touch on this on his last Wolfpack Reacts video a little bit. And yeah, I encourage you guys to go check that out. But also, I just kind of wanted to, because this is something in the kind of national news area, I wanted to go ahead and kind of give you a little bit more information, or we can kind of find more information together on the Lone Wolf Show. So let's go ahead and look at this article. We have this from The Guardian. Authorities investigate mass shooting at Austin bar as potential act of terrorism. Officials continue to investigate Sunday's shooting in Texas amid fears of further attacks following U.S. airstrikes on Iran. Officials in Texas are continuing to investigate a weekend mass shooting at an Austin bar by a man wearing a Property of Allah hoodie as an act of potential terrorism, as fears rise over the possibility of further attacks following U.S. airstrikes on Iran. Police shot and killed, I can't pronounce this guy's name, Nadajiga Diangni. I'm sorry, that name is completely foreign and I can't pronounce that. 53, Senegalese national and naturalized U.S. citizen, early on Sunday after he reportedly opened fire at the downtown bar, popular with university students. 2 people were killed and another 14 wounded, some of them seriously. Yeah, there's reports coming out that there's still a lot of people in critical condition, so pray for them. On Monday, detectives in Austin joined by FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force were investigating the suspect's motives and possible links to organized groups. Although they said this man, appeared to have been a lone actor. FBI Special Agent Alex Duran of the Bureau's San Antonio field office told a press conference on Sunday there were indicators that on the subject and in his vehicle indicate a potential nexus to terrorism. It's still too early to make a determination on that. Federal and city authorities say the suspect was not on their radar before the attack. And the Austin attack came hours after the U.S. launched airstrikes in Iran at Donald Trump's direction. And see, this is what I'm saying, guys, is the timing of this was really suspicious. And I really hope we get more information, like who this guy was, because though we haven't found anything yet, this is still pretty early in the investigation. Anyway, I'll read on here. The Associated Press, citing an unidentified law enforcement official, said the gunman wore a t-shirt under his hoodie with an Iranian flag design. The site intelligence group said on Sunday that Dagny, I guess is his name. I'm trying to pronounce his name, but there's no fucking way, guys. Sorry. Had expressed pro-Iranian regime sentiment and hatred for Israeli and American leadership in Facebook posts dating back to 2017. And had posted a picture of himself holding what appears to be an assault rifle. Great. How is this guy not on the FBI's radar? I don't understand. I don't understand the NSA and with the Patriot Act and all this shit where we're losing our privacy, but yet we nothing like this ever gets flagged. But I suppose, man, I'm trying to keep support for the FBI and law enforcement, but when things like this like slip under the radar, it absolutely makes no sense. With the technology we have today, it makes zero sense on how people like this are just able to fly under the radar. It makes no sense. Like, I'd also like to know when he became a naturalized citizen, because if we're naturalizing people that have obvious like hatred towards the country and our leadership, why are we naturalizing them? This, like, we really do, dude. We need some reform to the way that we let people become citizens. There needs to be it needs to be harder. Like, at the end of the day, people are talking about, even Republicans are like, we need to make it easier to become a citizen. No, dude, we need to make it should be, to be able to become a U.S. citizen, it should be the hardest thing that you do in your entire life, dude. I don't understand why we make it so easy for people like this to just slip in. I don't know, man. I honestly have no answers. I'm not a policymaker. I'm no lawyer. I'm not any of that stuff. I'm just a guy that bitches on the internet, but I don't know, man. Something needs to be done. Somebody smarter than me needs to come up with some sort of idea to be able to reform the way that we let people into this country and the way that we go about even naturalizing citizens of other countries. Anyway, I'll read on here. One of the victims was named on Monday by Dustin Burrows, Speaker of the Texas House of Representatives, as Ryder Harrington. Pray for him, pray for his family. A student at Texas Tech University. A GoFundMe appeal set up by a person identifying themselves as a fellow member of the university's Beta Theta Pi chapter fall 2024 pledge class called Harrington, a beloved son, brother, and friend whose kindness and presence touched countless lives. I'm sorry, guys. That sucks. That really sucks. A post on Instagram said a vigil would take place in Austin on Monday night. The escalating Middle East conflict has prompted authorities at a national level and in several major U.S. cities to step up security measures. No shit. This is why we need to get funding going on. I don't know what's going on in Congress and the Senate right now, but state legislatures, congressmen, you guys get this fucking thing moving. We need to fund the Department of Homeland Security. Like, I don't understand, man. We're really going to sit here and argue about whether or not we should be funding the DHS. That's like, in my opinion, it's one of the most important security kind of forces protecting the homeland, protecting the United States in and of itself. Like, I don't understand how this is controversial. Never in my life, man. The things that have been being argued about in the halls of Congress and shutting down the government over it, never in my life. Like, these used to be like bipartisan issues, dude. Like, these used to be like both sides of the aisle could agree, yeah, we need to fund Homeland Security, should be funded. It makes zero sense. And ugh. Oh, it makes me angry because it's like shit like this happens because you fucking idiots. You fucking. Ugh. Sorry, guys. I'm going to lose my shit here in a minute because these absolutely worthless fucking pieces of shit people sitting at the highest fucking at the highest places in our government doing nothing. Oh, we're not gonna fund the Department of Homeland Security because Orange Man bad. Fuck you, dirty fucking cocksuckers, man. I'm sorry, but like I see shit like this happen, man, and it makes me just want to fucking wring the fucking necks, man. It's treasonous, man. Like, to me, this is true. As a regular American citizen, this is treasonous activities in my opinion. Not funding DHS, fucking treason, dude. DHS does they're one of the, and I don't really like a lot of the government departments, the three-letter agencies in our government, but DHS, I think, does a very, very important job, probably one of the most important jobs when it comes to protecting regular citizens here in the homeland. And I just don't understand how funding that became a partisan issue. It boggles my fucking mind. Anyway, we'll read. Sorry about that. I gotta rant sometimes. You gotta just let me let it out, guys, every once in a while. Let's go ahead and read this here. Kash Patel, the FBI director, posted on X that agents were working around the clock to keep Americans safe. Last night, I instructed our counterterrorism and intelligence teams to be on high alert and mobilize all assisting security assets needed. Our JTTFs throughout the country are working 24/7, as always, to address and disrupt any potential threats to the homeland, he said. The San Diego Union Tribune, meanwhile, said it had obtained an advisory from the Pentagon's Northern Command, or NORCOM, urging military bases to remain alert to the potential for attacks targeting U.S. facilities and personnel. The newspaper said Naval Base Coronado. God, I could never pronounce names of things. Oh man, I'm pretty well read when it comes to. I got a pretty good reading comprehension skills, but when it comes to the names of shit, I'm just terrible. You guys, if you watch the Lone Wolf show enough, you definitely already know that, but. Oh, the newspaper said Naval Base Coronado, I believe that's how you pronounce it, a major facility in San Diego, comprising 9 separate sea and air divisions, had warned of increased base security causing delays at entrance gates. The New York Police Department released a statement on Saturday urging residents to be vigilant. Jeez. The NYPD is closely monitoring events in Iran and the Middle East and coordinating with our federal and international partners, it said in a statement posted on social media. As in our protocol and out of an abundance of caution, we will be enhancing patrols to sensitive locations throughout the city, including diplomatic, cultural, religious, and other relevant sites. So I'm glad that a lot of this is being, it seems to be taking seriously. It's sad that it took an attack over in Austin, Texas, and 2 Americans getting killed for us to kind of be on high alert. But I'm glad. I am kind of proud of the response that we have here from law enforcement and other agencies. Like, let's go. Protecting American citizens should be top priority always. Uh, in Los Angeles, which has a large Iranian community, officials were also responding to what they said was a heightened threat of terrorism. We're closely monitoring for any threats to Los Angeles, public safety, and military action in the Middle East, Karen Bass, the city's Democratic mayor, said in a post on X. Yeah, okay, Karen. While there are no known credible threats at this time, LAPD has stepped up patrols near places of worship, community spaces, and other areas of the city, and we will remain vigilant in protecting our city. We understand that many Angelinos, is that what we're calling the people of Los Angeles? Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you live in Los Angeles, if you like that. Like, do you like being called an Angelino? I read that word and I'm just like, what the fuck is that? And many Angelinos are affected and deeply concerned and encourage everyone to voice their views in a peaceful way. In January, a person driving a van with banners urging the U.S. not to support a return to Iran of Reza Pahlavi, son of the country's former Shah, plowed into a demonstration by his supporters in Los Angeles. So far, at least, the Homeland Security Department's National Terrorism Advisory System has not issued any new advice after the start of the U.S. military action in Iran. I wish they would. But in June last year, on the same day the Trump administration launched airstrikes on Iran's nuclear facilities, the NTAS published a bulletin warning of a heightened threat environment in the U.S. Oh, excuse me. The conflict could also motivate violent extremists, and hate crime perpetrators seeking to attack targets perceived to be Jewish. Pro-Israel are linked to the U.S. government, are military in the homeland, it said at the time. Yeah, Benaya's on his Wolfpack React channel, our video, he did indicate that there's already been several attacks on U.S. embassies throughout the Middle East. Thankfully, though, I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty positive that all the people in those embassies have already been evacuated, so I don't think we're in too much danger there, but still pray for all the people that work in those embassies, just in case. In a statement in response to the Austin shooting on Sunday, Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, the state's Republican governor, yeah, I guess I didn't have to say that, said he had initiated efforts to safeguard our communities, including stepping up patrols at energy facilities, ports, and the border with Mexico. To anyone who thinks about using the current conflict in the Middle East to threaten Texans or our critical infrastructure, understand this clearly. Texas will respond with decisive and overwhelming force to defend our state. Hoorah. Is that the end of the article? They have like some weird like warning here at the end of the article. Yeah, I don't really need to read that. But yeah, guys, things are getting a little too spicy for the pepper. But hopefully, I'm hoping, and it looks like law enforcement and all these agencies are responding appropriately. But man, it really makes me think, man. Like, I immediately, when I heard this story on Benaya's video, I really needed to look at it a lot. I wanted to look at it closely because immediately my first thought was what I was saying years ago during the Biden administration, where I was like, dude, like the fact that we have I immediately thought immigration and illegal immigration mostly, and I was like, because it was just like our open border was just a smorgasbord. I immediately went to the thought of, dude, America's enemies are going to use this, take advantage of it, and I don't know. This is why I have such a hard time with liberals and Democrats. It's like we live in such a safe time that it's like you people don't even think about it, man. Like you don't understand how we're hated. You're hated all around the world. Like you might be a crazy liberal that you are self-hating, but dude, you don't understand, dude, and I don't get how you could just be like, yeah, no borders. Like I can kind of understand where some liberals might come from in some ways, but it's like I'm not going to be suicide. They call it suicidal empathy, man. I am not going for the sake of being empathetic. I'm not going to fucking just like let myself die. I'm sorry. I am sorry. For the sake of compassion, no fucking way. No way I'm putting my life on the line just so I can be compassionate. Like no, my guy. Zero chance. Zero chance. I would rather be the mean guy that keeps everybody safe than the nice guy that lets everybody in and then something bad happens. I don't know, man. Like it's an obvious thing to me. I'm not even a military guy or a guy that has a vast knowledge on war and terrorism and stuff like that, but my first thing that comes to mind when you open a border is like, dude, like bad guys can just walk right through that bitch. People that mean us harm, people that mean you harm. I don't understand. Like you guys have such a warped ass view of the world. Like everybody's just so nice and they're like rainbows and unicorns and it's like no, bro, I would love to believe that. I absolutely would love to believe that, but I'm not so naive. like we live in a dangerous, ugly, dark world. That is just the fucking fact of the matter. There is no utopia. There is none. There never will be none. As long as there's human beings, there will never ever, and this is just a fact. There will never ever, as long as humans are humans, there's not this utopia that you imagine in your head. It's fiction, dude. It's not real. It's a complete falsehood for you to think that, oh, if people just were like this and did this, the world would be all right and good. And it's like, we live in a corrupted world, man. We always will. We always have. We always will. That will never fucking change until the end comes, dude. It's gonna be like this. You have to go about life with that, knowing that in mind. Now, am I saying to be a nihilist or a pessimist? No, absolutely not. There's room for optimism. There's room for good. There's room for light in the darkness, bro. Absolutely. But we can't be so empathetic that we're suicidal, bro. There's no fucking way. You need to take that little idea you got in your head of a utopia and throw it out the fucking door because it's not possible. We will always be in a world where we're combating evil, no matter what. And I don't know, man. And we need to take precautions in order to adjust for that. Like we have to adjust our societies, knowing that there's going to be bad people that mean harm. At the end of the day, that's it is what it is. And I'm not taking any fucking chances for the sake of compassion. I'm not doing that. No fucking way. No way am I gonna let my compassion and my good heart put others in danger. No fucking way, dude. If I have to be the fucking bad guy, so fucking be it. You frame me as a racist, a bigot, a mean person. I literally do not give a fuck. At the end of the day, I will take precautions and I will vote accordingly and I will do whatever it takes to make sure even the people that hate me are protected. Like I just don't get this mindset that we need to be so compassionate that we fucking let ourselves get fucking killed. That's that's how 9/11 happened. That's how all these attacks like this happen, man. It's how this happens. You sit there and wonder, I don't get it. Or you'll be that stupid person that's like, oh, this is just like a one in a million thing. It'll never happen to me. You're stupid. You're naive. And no way, man. No way am I going to be compassionately naive. No way. I will be the bad guy. I will be the villain in the story for you fucking people, man. I do not care. Because at the end of the day, I know what I know what the world could bring. I know what kind of bad things can happen to a person, and yeah, there's evil, and we gotta fight it, man. Uh, anyway, I'll probably go ahead and let it go for you guys there. Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on this. Me and Benaya have been working really hard to keep an eye on this and keep you guys informed on everything that's going on around this. But anyway, we'll leave you guys there. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the show. You can follow us on all our platforms at Wolfpack Media 92, and we will see you all in the next episode. Peace.